Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Friday. I'm Jeanelle. Slade. Russ has the night off. A high-speed pursuit sent 2 people to the hospital after a crash in Lockwood tonight. The crash happened around 7:30 on Coburn Road near the Fort Dances Natural Area. Corporal Dylan Korth says the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office received a call for a welfare check at Fort Dances. While on the way, deputies learned the man had stolen a car. Now, Korth says the man was heading north, driving erratically on Coburn, and made a U-turn before getting to Hardin Road. Deputies chased the car, which went off the road. A woman was also taken to the hospital, but Korth says she was not in the car, and her connection to the driver is not known. A 59-year-old Billings man now charged with criminal endangerment and theft after allegedly stealing a truck in Lockwood, then fleeing law enforcement in the vehicle and on foot. Prosecutors say Dwayne Hill stole a blue Ford Ranger from the Flying J truck stop in Lockwood yesterday morning. A Yellowstone County deputy spotted the vehicle heading west on Interstate 90 and started pursuit. Now, the driver apparently tried to exit using the off-ramp on South 27th Street, but got trapped between a semi-trailer and the deputy, who drew his gun. The driver jumped out of the truck and took off on foot over the guardrail and down the embankment before he was caught. Now, the interstate south of Butte turned dangerous this afternoon when a sudden sleet storm caused a 3-car crash. This happened at about 2 o'clock on I15 just north of Divide. As you can see, slick conditions caused 3 vehicles to slide off the road. Emergency responders quickly blocked traffic to avoid further crashes. No major injuries were reported. Well, not the only weather making headlines tonight. All across Montana, summer solstice took on the look of winter. As we head west, here's a look at some drone video out of Big Sky. As you can see, the trees and the mountaintops coated with snow. It all started falling yesterday and just didn't stop. Temperatures also dropped, so that snow is sticking. And here closer to home, Bob McGuire, busy this week. Bob, things are going to be rainy for one more day, but there's some truth to sun in Sunday.
We're going to get some break in the weather on Sunday. That's some good news as well. Let me show you what's going to happen. As you can see, this is the way it started today. This is about 1 o'clock, the Beartooth Mountains, and look at how much snow is up there. That stuff dropped all the way down to the 5,500 foot level. Meanwhile, this is the way it looked at Logan Pass this afternoon as it was greeted by the new season we call summer. Hard to believe, huh? Well, let me show you what we had in Billings. The record low for this day is 41 degrees, and we were pretty close to it. The actual low this morning in Billings was 46, so we almost set a record for the coldest summer, beginning of summer day on record. But the record high was 98, and today's actual high was 68, nowhere near the record. But if you wonder what's going to happen in July, we're looking at some wetter weather across Montana that first week of July. And then what about precipitation temperature-wise? Well, we're looking at generally normal conditions. Normal for this time of year is right around 79 degrees that first week of July. So we'll have more about that. And also your weekend forecast coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, just because Mother Nature is ignoring the calendar, summer will still go on across central and eastern Montana. Saturday and Sunday, the Little Bighorn Days and Stampede PRCA Rodeo continue in Hardin. And here in the Magic City, if you're looking for a bargain, Billings' biggest garage sale will get going at the Metra starting Saturday morning at 7. And if the airwaves are your thing, then just off of Highway 87, you'll find the Ham Radio Field Day. But if you're wanting to dance and check out some home brews, you'll want to head to Harlowton tomorrow. That's where Galley's Brewing Company will host its June Festival and home brew competition. Gates for the music festival there open at 3. And at Rocky Mountain College this Sunday, the Festival of Cultures will take you around the world in a single afternoon. And also on Sunday, if you're up for a drive and some fabulous barbecue, Absorki has your ticket for the Montana Barbecue Cook-Off. Well, also a warning if you're planning to camp near Bighorn Lake this weekend. Officials report due to flooding, driftwood and other debris are already floating in the lake. The high water starting to inundate some campgrounds, and although they're not closed yet, just a few more feet of water could submerge them. Well, closer to Billings, anchors up. There's a new boat launch. The newly completed Blue Creek Fishing Access boat ramp is located on the south side of the Yellowstone River off of South Billings Boulevard. The Yellowstone River Parks Association purchased this piece of property. The boat launch paid for with money from damage done by the ExxonMobil pipeline oil spill in 2011. It's set up to be used as a fishing access site and boat launch, allowing people better access to the river. Fish, Wildlife and Parks will eventually take over the boat ramp. Well, as Governor Steve Bullock sets his sights on the Oval Office, his campaign trail takes him to the east. Today, Bullock started a two-day tour through New Hampshire, meeting with New Hampshire Senate Majority Leader Dan Feltes, seen here with him in Concord. And tomorrow, the governor will make 4 more stops to meet voters across that state. Well, the governor has announced that during the 2-night DNC debate that he did not qualify for, he will hold locally televised town halls in Iowa and New Hampshire. He recently announced he did qualify for the second DNC debate, but that does not guarantee him a spot on the stage. Well, President Trump called off a planned military strike against Iran with just 10 minutes to spare. That in response to the downing of an unmanned U.S. military surveillance drone. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
President Trump tweeted that the U.S. military was cocked and loaded and about to retaliate against Iran for downing an unmanned surveillance drone. Just before the president called off the mission, he says he asked his generals how many Iranians would likely be killed.
Sir, approximately 150.
President Trump explained his decision to change course in an interview with NBC's Meet the Press.
And I thought about it for a second. I said, you know what? They shot down an unmanned drone, and here we are sitting with 150 dead people. That would have taken place probably within a half an hour after I said go ahead. Yeah. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it was proportionate.
The strike plan called for launching multiple missiles at each of the 3 sites that were part of Iran's air defense system. They would have been fully manned round the clock. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she was pleased with the president's measured response.
The strike of that amount of collateral damage would be very provocative, and I'm glad the president did not take that.
Pentagon officials tell CBS News military retaliation is off for now unless or until Iran targets another U.S. aircraft. Retired Admiral and CBS News consultant Sandy Winnefeld says Iran should not be allowed to act with impunity.
It's possible the president has simply gone back to his military planners and asked for a better option that he might choose to execute anytime.
If Iran shoots down another drone, military officers tell CBS News they intend to be ready to retaliate much faster and with fewer estimated casualties. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A senior administrative official confirms to CBS News that additional economic sanctions against Iran are the next likely step. Well, a race for a cause tonight in Laurel. About 200 people showed up to run and help raise money for the Montana Firefighters Memorial. The race featured a 5K and a 1 mile with entry fees going toward the ongoing completion of the memorial in Laurel. The site opened back in 2018, but the volunteer-led fundraising effort stalled short about $300,000. With the help of some sponsors and a new group got together to put on tonight's run. Organizers hope the first ever Montana Firefighters Memorial Run raises about $10,000 to go toward landscaping, a fence, and to add more names to the wall.
So we're just really happy with, like I said, our turnout, our fundraising efforts, and we're just glad to see so many members of the community getting out here to enjoy the memorial, checking it out, seeing what it's about, but also raising more money to complete the memorial.
And Parrish says they hope to hold that firefighter memorial run every year. Well, a Billings nonprofit re-entered the fight against poverty today. The Habitat for Humanity Restore held a grand opening of its new building this afternoon. Now located at 685 King Park Drive, the Restore had to move from its downtown location after fire tore through the building in 2018. 100% of the money made from the Restore goes to build homes for impoverished families. The Habitat crew is almost done with the last house in the 16-home subdivision. In about 4 weeks, the group will break ground in a new 21-lot subdivision.
It's an opportunity for us to say thank you to the community for supporting us during the difficult time, but helping us getting back on our feet as well, so we can continue to serve children and families living throughout Yellowstone County. There's a great need out there, and the building we're standing in here today is another fundraising arm of our mission, our ministry here at Habitat. It's because of the Restore and folks donating to the Restore, shopping at the Restore, that these homes become a reality. They're a dream come true for families and children living in poverty housing right here in our own community.
And food trucks, raffles, and store discounts were also part of today's grand opening. Well, 2 Montana Eagle Scouts put their skills to the test and recently helped save a life.
All the experiences we've had in Scouts helped us prepare mentally for how to act in a situation like that, rather than freaking out.
16-year-olds David and Sam from Great Falls were driving along River Road Sunday night when they noticed a man slumped over on his car. Immediately, they turned around, realized he wasn't responsive, and dialed 911. Although both boys took action to help, they were relieved when police showed up to assist.
Basically, they saved his life. It would have been very, very easy for somebody to just keep right on going, but it's neat and refreshing that these young men decided that, you know what, I'm going to make a difference today.
Anybody can really help do good. I mean, we're just 2 16-year-olds. We're still in high school, just got through sophomore year, and we helped save somebody's life.
Nice job, gentlemen. David and Sam say they took a first aid class to become Eagle Scouts. Black Eagle Fire Department has asked the boys to be this year's Grand Marshals in the 4th of July parade. Well, it was Goldilocks, but backwards in Missoula this morning as a black bear decided a neighborhood closet was the perfect spot for a nap. Missoula County Sheriff deputies responded to a home and discovered the black bear had somehow opened the mudroom door and then managed to deadbolt the door from the inside. When it couldn't get out, the bear began ripping the room apart, but as he got tired, he climbed up into the closet for a nap. Deputies say they knocked on the window, but the bear was not the least bit impressed. He slowly stretched, yawned, and looked toward the door. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks eventually tranquilized the bear and relocated it. Well, coming up on tonight's Q2 10 o'clock news, if your favorite part of work is getting home to your pet at the end of the day, this next story, well, it's for you. Plus, later, we'll meet a little boy with a big heart and even bigger attitude. His incredible story in sports.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.